Hey, let's talk about one simple question that you can ask yourself that'll solve any problem in your life or business. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you a quick story. We just got done doing a weekend event where we were teaching everything about how to generate leads, how to have good positive influence with those folks so that they come in and they purchase your product or service. And so Saturday morning yesterday, which was the second day of the event, there was a speaker teaching on Reels for Instagram, TikTok, things like that. And I got a message from one of my students. She was, having a challenge. And so I used this question I'm going to talk to you about with her, and it really helped elevate her mental clarity and helped her with a different way to view the challenge that she was having. And I'll read this to you in just a second so you get an idea of what was happening there. And by the way, if you're having challenges with your skill set when it comes to sales and marketing inside your business, whether it's an affiliate marketing business, a network marketing business, a high ticket coaching program, or you're selling courses, and you need to up level your skill set there, I'll put in the pinned comment and in the description a link to two different things. One will be for network marketers specifically, a boot camp. So look for the boot camp down there if you're a network marketer. It'll teach you everything you need to know about social media marketing. Actually, what we were teaching over this weekend, you'll get a nice 5-day introduction into what you need to do social media wise to get more leads and get more sales and so on. And then if you're a course creator, high ticket coach, or an affiliate marketer, I'll put a different 5-day challenge down there for you. It'll teach you specifically for those types of businesses the sales and marketing skills that you need. So we have all those solutions. Feel free to use those down in the pinned comment in the description. But I got this in front of me. I'll just give you a little idea of what she was asking me yesterday. Her first thing was, hey, good morning, Matt. Feeling a bit off was what she was saying there about yesterday, meaning she meant Friday, the Friday training. And she said, a lot of what was taught yesterday, I know a lot of this stuff. I'm not sure I'm in the right spot. Is the Saturday and the Sunday training, should I stick around, basically, is what she's asking me here. Is it the best place for me? And I know it was, because I knew what we were going to train on, and already having been working with her, I knew what she was in for, so to speak, in a good positive way with the training. And so what I wrote back to her is I said, hey, her name's Michelle. I said, hey, Michelle, I understand. And I went into some details about the training from the previous day and how I still think it helps her. But what I did say after that was, here's how I encourage you to view the rest of the weekend. And I said, ask yourself, how can I think about this issue differently? And that's the question I want to teach you. It's very simply how. Ask yourself, how can I think about this differently? It'll get you into an entirely different headspace than what all of us, myself included, typically do as humans, right? Where when we have a challenge, and this could be life or business, let's say you're having a challenge with your child where they're just not listening to you. There's some issues there. Maybe you're beating yourself up a little bit because if you had done stuff differently in the past, you wouldn't now encounter these particular behavioral problems from them. Let's just use that as a quick example. Typically, what we'll do in our minds is we'll start saying things like, wow, I'm never going to get this to be a better situation. This is not going well. I'm not good enough. I'm really a bad parent. Like all these negative things start going through your mind, right? And what happens is if you take this how question, it gets you into an entirely new problem solving place mentally, where if you say, okay, that is the situation right now, but how can I think about this differently? And then what that'll do is get you going from the negative statements, because remember, statements are not as effective for problem solving as questions. So it'll get you out of that negative statement place, get you to now asking yourself a good positive question, and then it gets you to the next way to ask this question that will solve any problem in your life or business, which is what I call the cousin question to the how question, which is what. Now you can start asking yourself, okay, what can I now do specifically? What are the steps I can take going forward that will solve this challenge? And that's where your mind gets into the problem solving mode. Like what I did here with Michelle is I said to her, here's how I would encourage you to view the rest of the weekend. I said, how can you think about this differently, this challenge you have? And I want you to ask yourself, what will your business look like when you learn what we're teaching right now? Because the training that was being taught as I was writing this to her over on Zoom was everything to do with using Reels for Instagram and TikTok, which I know she needs. So I said, right now we're teaching about Reels. And so I said, what can you take away from the current training on Reels to get better at that particular way of social media marketing? And I knew that later in the day, we were going to be talking about the attraction marketing funnel overall of how to get prospects who are your best target market to be interested in you, bring them into your funnel, have that positive influence so you can bring them into your product or service. And so I asked a how question on this one. How will you use the attraction marketing funnel that we're going to lay out for you later today? Because I know she's interested in that. And then I also knew that on Sunday, today, this morning, we did a whole personal development training, which I knew would just blow her away in a good, positive way. I said, by the way, tomorrow we have some great personal development training. Ask yourself, how will your business change when you start thinking differently? And so that's just kind of in a practical sense how you can use this and how I just used it yesterday with someone who needed that. And she came back yesterday at the end of the Saturday training because I asked her at the end of my post in the morning, is this helpful? And she said, hey, thanks, Matt. This really helped me move through the Saturday in a good way. And she said, the sentence I wanted to bring you was, she said, my belief is becoming more and more apparent. I can see myself doing this. At least that's where my vision is headed. That's in my brain. So that's perfect. Now she's in a solution mode, right? So that's just what I want to bring you. And it works in any situation with your kids, with your spouse, maybe issues at work, inside your business. My encouragement to you is to get out of the habit, if you're in it, saying those statements. I'm not good enough. I can never do this. It's never going to work out. All that kind of stuff. That's the garbage that we all allow ourselves to think sometimes. And I don't want you to go down that path. By the way, if you are in business, this talk was more of a personal development talk. But if you know you need the sales and marketing skills, look down below. One for network marketers, your boot camp. And if you're in the other non-network marketing type business, look for that 5-day challenge. What those two things will do for your specific types of businesses is give you the sales and marketing skills that you need so you can attract your best prospect into whatever you're selling. But from a personal development perspective, this question has helped me over the years open my mind up when I get stuck in that negative thinking, in the feelings that I'm just not good enough in the moment, and it kind of get me out of the excuse mode that Michelle was in yesterday, because there's other stuff that I didn't tell you that she wrote to me in that original message. And she was just kind of stuck in this excuse mode. And it's very easy to go there. I still go there. And I know a lot of this stuff. And I still have to remind myself, Matt, go back to these little, tips and tricks on how to talk to yourself and the questions to ask. So how and then what? Those two things will open your mind, get you into that solution mode, and really make a big difference for you, no matter what the situation is inside your life. Lastly, before I go, I've put together another video that goes into more personal development ways of thinking that will help you if you are running an internet business. I'll put it right here. It's called Why You Should Never Tell Anybody About Your Internet Business. Because if you do, it will elicit a lot of stuff from people around you that is negative, that can tear you down and get you off track from building that business. So if you are having that issue at all and you want to know what I'm talking about, go ahead and click right there and I'll see you over there.